recording.
Yeah, okay.
Just like half of it. Okay?
Okay.
Even in here.
Hello. Good morning. Welcome everybody to this 68th Indian Independence Day celebrations here at UMass Dartmouth. And I welcome everybody on behalf of Indian Student Association and also Center for Indic Studies. I welcome you all. First we start our program with American National Anthem.
Should stand.
Now we sing Indian National Anthem and then we have unfurling of the flag. We now going to sing Indian National Anthem.
Okay. So should I hold this or?
Okay, it's okay, record it. No problem. Cheers.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Let me now introduce the new ISA committee.
Yeah, one second. Can you hold it?
Yes.
The president of ISA is Jay Prakash.
Hello everyone. Now I would like to introduce my new ISC team here. And Vice President is Navin Kavatil. And our new Treasurer is Dinesh. And Cultural Secretary is Vidyasri. And Transportation Coordinator is Vinesh. And the webmaster is Sachin. And some of the members were busy in arranging food items and all. I'll be introducing them later. So these are our new ISA members. We will be here to help you out in each and every moment, whatever it is possible for us. So please cooperate with us. So we'll be helping you a lot, and as in your presence, you should also try to help us. So thanks for coming to this Independence Day celebration, and have a nice celebration here and have a great food. which she's waiting outside for you.
I would like to invite, by the way, I am Professor Satya Paraitam, and I am the faculty advisor to Indian Student Association. And these students, they do a good job, and I take the credit. I would like to invite our Associate Provost, S.P. Mehta, to come over here and then unfurl our Indian flag on this 68th Independence Day, and then speak a few words. Please welcome.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for inviting me today to this wonderful occasion, celebrating 68th Independence Day of the largest democracy in the world. 67 years ago, a very long struggle and a very long fight for independence and peaceful resistance ended in independence of that country. The nature of that resistance has been and continues to be an inspiration and also a model for peaceful resistance and how powerful and effective peaceful resistance can be. And that's something that needs to be followed and emulated by many independence movements across the world. So on behalf of the Provost Office, I would like to congratulate the people of India in general and the UMass Dartmouth Indian community in particular for this wonderful
I want the Indian flag to be there.
Also, I'd like to particularly thank the Indian Student Association and the faculty advisor, Satya, for organizing this event. But organizing this event is not the only thing they do, and I had the pleasure of interacting with some of them and witnessing the type of services that they do in furthering the strategic goals of the university, particularly the very tight and supportive structure they have in supporting each other academically, particularly for those students who are coming to the United States for the first time. I have been overseeing the IIT Research Exchange Program, Summer Exchange Program. So we have several students every summer coming to UMass Dartmouth to work on research projects under the supervision of our faculty. And the type of support that I saw offered and given by our current students was just remarkable, including just transporting them to and from the airport and giving them academic support as well as hosting them in their own apartments. And that actually made me relive my own graduate student experience when I first came to the United States. And that kind of critical support, especially during the first couple of weeks of your arrival in a different culture, different environment, is something that you never forget. So I would encourage the Indian Student Association to continue to do that. So you're not just supporting Indian graduate students, you are furthering the mission of the university to be student-centered environment. So thank you so much. Thank you, Satya, also for inviting me. And again, congratulations on your Independence Day. Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce
1 second.
who is the backbone of ISA or called as wall of an ISA, whatever it is. I would like to welcome our Dr. Satyavartham sir to give us great speech and wonderful speech today on Independence Day celebration. I welcome him.
Now you can take the audience.
Hello? Hello? Is it working?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much for his compliment. I'm not going to give a wonderful speech. I'm going to give a brief speech. I'm not a good orator. Actually, we celebrate Indian Independence Day. And why should we care? It's 68 years now have passed that we got independence. Why should we care? The question that is tossed up in my mind. And if you see the free India as the world's largest democracy, plays an important role in the world. And it provided opportunities for you means I mean we, our parents, grandparents to come abroad. We got
I guess you
freedom.
know better.
And that is the reason why we are here today. No, you don't have to bring that. So, had we not got freedom, we would not have been here today. And we would have been there in India under British rule. Or even if I were to be here, you were to be here today, we would have been representing British, not India. So we owe a lot to the people who sacrificed their lives. And so this is a day where we need to pay homage to all those who sacrificed their lives. Last year and the year before last year, I had a presentation where I highlighted the contribution of the great people, well-known people in the top 10, like Mahatma Gandhi, Vallabhbhai Patel, Bhagat Singh, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, and Chandrasekhar Azad, all these. Now, I want to throw a brief light on these, and also today I want to present before you so many freedom fighters about whom little is known. I want to bring highlight of those people, unsung freedom fighters, just briefly. And this is only part, and next year I'll continue again. It's like a continuous process. There are so many people who sacrifice their lives. So in my speech of around 15-20 minutes, I would limit my speech to these unsung heroes and women fighters, so on. If you see the history, I just wanted to go briefly. Battle of Plassey, well known, that is the first one, where the first one, this is the starting point of British rule, where the Nawab actually was being bribed and did not allow their own troops to fight against the British, and that is where we lost our first battle. Then the freedom struggle started with 1857 Sepoy Mutiny, and many people do not know that there was some sporadic events and incidents even well before Lakshmi Bai's Sepoy Mutiny of 1857. Between 1750 to 1850, so many people sacrificed. In my speech, you can see those in this little presentation. And now, this is where you can see that Mahatma Gandhi is great inspiration. And there are some people like Swami Vivekananda, Sri Aurobindo, then Bankim Chatterjee, Tagore. These people, they played a vital role, not only in terms of having non-violence movement, also by bringing some kind of spiritual awareness in the minds of the people to go to fight for the freedom. And these are the great people, that you can see Gandhi, Nehru, and then Vallabhbhai Patel, Bhagat Singh, Azad, Subhash Chandra Bose, and you can see the outcome of the wars and all these Mahatma Gandhi. This is the small item from the Quit India movement, where people joined together. This is what Jhansi Lakshmibai was starting point, in 1857, where she was not exactly the first woman who fought. There were some women too, but she was being brought to the limelight. And this really, she created a platform for open violence against British. And Bhagat Singh, as we know very well, that he at a very young age, he was instrumental in battling with Britishers, and then he was hanged along with two of his colleagues. And this is Jallian. How many of you are aware of Jallianwala Bagh massacre? Everybody. Where is it located? Amritsar. Just 2 furlongs away, half a mile away from Amritsar temple, Golden Temple, Jallianwala Bagh. It was a circular building where General Dyer gave how many rounds? I don't remember. So many rounds. Some time back I visited Jallianwala Bagh. I was into tears. It was a circular park, and there is only one way to enter. There is no way to go out. And they gave directions to kill the people from 4 different ways, and then it was a congregation. There was no violence. They just went for a meeting, and everybody was killed. And General Dyer was later on called by British, and then he was asked to explain, and he was explained. It was a brutal, even they acknowledged it was brutal. And this actually, the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, raised eyes of many people who joined the freedom struggle. But I'm going to talk about this. Vallabhbhai Patel is the Deputy Prime Minister of India when we got independence. And he was the one who is instrumental in merging all the union territories into Indian Union. There are so many princely states, they didn't want to get engaged into this, and he was instrumental in that. Subhash Chandra Bose, he is the one totally on the other side of Gandhi, that totally, he said, well, you have to fight. If somebody is attacking with a gun, you cannot open the chest like Patel opened the chest, Iron Man of India. And you cannot do that because they can kill you. And he said, no, I have to retaliate with weaponry. And then he said only one thing, you give me blood, I will give you freedom. तुम मुझे खून दो, मैं तुम्हें आजादी दूंगा. तुम खून means blood. You give me blood, I will give you freedom. Tilak, he was actually, Swaraj is my birthright. He said, freedom is my birthright, and I will have it one day. Gandhi, father of a nation. Everybody is aware of him, and he is great. One of the simplest persons, India has ever produced. Barrister at law, he was educated, very well educated. But see the simple clothing and very down to earth style of living and all that. Later on, one of the speakers is going to throw light on this, how it happened and all that. Gokhale, he was actually, like a guru, political guru of Mahatma Gandhi. Pandit Nehru, he was another prominent person from Motilal. It's a rich family. Motilal Nehru was a rich person. He didn't have to join the freedom struggle. He could have lived happy. And very rich man. Even now, if you go to New Delhi, go to Nehru house, his own house, very big palace, Right opposite, west of the Rashtrapati Bhavan, you can see the Rashtrapati Bhavan, President's house, from his house, which is about 2 miles from there. Open road, and it's very big, very rich. But he joined freedom struggle because he wanted to have freedom. Chandrasekhar Azad. How many of you know what his real name is? Chandrasekhar Tiwari. And he was named Azad. Azad means freedom. When he was caught, then the magistrate asked him, what is your name? He said, my name is Azad. Azad means freedom. And where are you going to stay? I'm going to stay in jail. Prison, because they're going to put me in prison. And he was another great freedom fighter. Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad. He was the one, how many of you know that we got so many IITs in Delhi and so many engineers the IITs produce and they are here. Maulana Abdul Kalam is the one who went against even Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and he said, well, I am with India, I am here. And he is the one who started University Grants Commission. I'm sorry. So he was the one who started University Grants Commission. Today, all the universities in India are being guided by, are coming under the umbrella of University Grants Commission, and one who is instrumental in Indian educational system. Now, here is a question. Who unfurled Indian flag in foreign country? This is Madam Kama. These are the new items which I am going to present today. Madam Kama, because in Delhi, if you see that there is one place called Bikaji Kama place, named after her. She is the one in Germany. She unfurled national flag. And if you see the flag, it has a moon on one side, sun on this side. Representing what? Sun representing Hindus, moon representing Muslims. They were joining this freedom struggle together. And in this tricolor flag, red representing strength, saffron, victory, green, boldness and enthusiasm. This is the flag that was designed in the beginning and unfurled. And how many of you are aware that the present flag, Indian flag, designed by whom? Pingali Venkayya from Andhra Pradesh. He was the one who designed this flag. Not many people are aware of this. We have this flag. Who is the one designer behind it? Pingali Venkayya. You know, the pity is that he died in poverty in 1963 and was largely forgotten by society and his own part. And we know that Vijayalakshmi Pandit is another great freedom fighter, and she was also first woman president of United Nations State Assembly, Nations General Assembly, and actually sister of Pandit Nehru. And she was ambassador to many countries, including USA, Ireland, Mexico, and the United Kingdom, Spain, and so on. She was great in terms of her contribution to Indian freedom. Sister Nivedita, her actual name is Margaret Elizabeth. Actually, not only Indians, even foreigners contributed to Indian freedom. And Margaret Elizabeth Noble is her name, and she's from Ireland, and she was inspired by Vivekananda. And Vivekananda called her real lioness. Rabindranath Tagore called her Lok Mata, and Aurobindo Ghosh, Agni Sikha. These are the titles they gave. These are the great people giving these titles to her, means we can see the immense contribution this woman made to freedom struggle. She introduced singing, Vande Mataram in the schools. In those days, Vande Mataram is a band actually. Whenever Indians say Vande Mataram means you are praising your own homeland. The Britishers' blood gets boiled. They don't like it. But she introduced singing Vande Mataram in schools. Mira Alfasa, she is popular as a mother. She is from Paris, and she was working in the spiritual transformation of humanity and life on earth. And she was influenced by Aurobindo Ghosh. And some people contributed directly, some people contributed in terms of bringing spiritual awareness in the minds of the people who are fighting for freedom. So there are so many women who played major roles. Role of women in freedom struggle. There are so many, I just listed only 4 here. Lakshmi Bai and Sarojini Devi, and then Aruna Asaf, Suchitra Kriplani. And Mahatma Gandhi once made a bold statement: to call women the weaker sex is a libel. It is a man's injustice to women. If by strength is meant moral power, then woman is immeasurably man's superior. Immeasurably man's superior. This is the greatest, wonderful. If non-violence is the law of our being, the future is women. And Gandhi is a great person. He acknowledged the contributions of women. And these are some unsung freedom fighters. I'm going to throw light on this. Most of these are totally unknown to the majority of the people. Chinnaswamy Subramanya Bharati. Some of these are from South Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra, and some from Bangalore and so on. And to tell briefly about him, he assisted Aurobindo, and also he became a karma yogi. And he started, some people contributed in terms of starting the journals and bringing awareness. He is the one who started, several weeklies, Vijaya is one weekly, Tamil daily weekly, and Bal Bharata, an English monthly, and then Suryodayam. Suryodayam means Surya means sun, Udaya means morning sun, rising sun. So if they wanted to bring light in the minds of the people, let us see the broad daylight of independent India. So he is one, such a great person who started, and some of these, these were banned by the Britishers. And Kumaran, Tirupur Kumaran, he was another great freedom fighter, and he started an association called Desh Bandhu Youth Association by grouping the youths and persons from Tamil Nadu, and he died, and he died his death was very cruel. That police assaulted him, third-degree assault, and they used to take the pins and then put the pins here and they used to torture them to death. And he was one, and even at the time of dying, he was holding national flag in his hands. He is another great person. Veeramangai Velunachiyar. And some of these Tamil pronunciations are very difficult. If I am wrong, please correct me, Mr. Partha. Yeah. Veeramangai Velunachiyar, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Velunachiyar. She is the one actually. She is also labeled as Joan of Arc. I think most of the people know Joan of Arc, right? And in 1770, this was before 1857 Sipahi Mutiny. Britishers invaded her kingdom, and she lost her daughter and also husband in the battle. And then she wanted to take revenge. She recaptured, there is one Sivaganga Samsthan. Samsthan means area, like kingdom. And then with the help of Hyder Ali, she took the help of Hyder Ali, and then she again crowned as the queen of the Sivaganga region. And she was the first queen who raised the revolt against the British emperor. And she won. She won. She did not lose the battle, she won. Vanchinathan, he was another great contributor, and he assassinated actually the district collector in that area. And as before that, he knew very well that he is going to die or he is going to commit suicide. Then he made a bold statement: "I will kill Ashe, whose arrival here is to celebrate the crowning of King George in his glorious land, which was once ruled by great Samrat." Samrat means emperors, kings. "This I do to make them understand the fate of those who cherished thought of enslaving this sacred land." And later on, of course, he committed suicide. After killing him, he committed suicide, because there is no point in getting captured and getting tortured and died and all that. He's the one we should pay homage to again. Veerapandya Pattabrahman. I think most of the people from Tamil Nadu are fully aware of him and his contributions. And he was the one, he fought because he didn't want to pay taxes on the land. And he was a king actually. He fought with the Britishers, and then he was captured by the British and hanged. He revolted against British and he was hanged. V.O. Chidambaram Pillai. You can count the number 6, 7 like this, soon we are coming to an end. And V.O. Chidambaram Pillai is the one, what one wonderful important thing about him is that he was a prominent lawyer, trade union leader, and he started indigenous shipping service between, there are two places, Tuticorin and Colombo, the Swadeshi Navigation Company. And Britishers didn't want this company to run. What British did is that, to thwart the New Indian Company, they resorted to the monopolistic kind of practice of reducing the fare up to 1 rupee just like $1, let us say. And then this person reduces the price to half, 50 paisa, that is just like half a dollar, 50 cents. Britishers counterattacked, offering them free trip to the passengers, and along with that, they offered free umbrella. Free trip and also umbrella. As a result, what happened? by 1909, the company, British company, was heading towards bankruptcy. There were no passengers, there was no way, because people didn't want even to travel free, even when they were given incentive of free umbrella. So this is how he contributed, and then he charged later on with playing around with the British government, and then he was sentenced to life imprisonment because they didn't like this to happen. They didn't want anybody to compete with their companies and so on. And Dhiran Chinnamalai, he was running his own kingdom, and he also fought against Britishers once, 2 times, and then finally, eventually, he was captured because there was one informer in his own army, the Bellappan. He betrayed him and then gave information to the Britishers, and Britishers captured him, and he was hanged by rope. And in those days, there used to be public hanging, and then in the case of kingdoms, they used to hang them publicly, and then it's very brutal. Subramanya Siva. He is the one, actually, he is the strong follower of Tilak, Balagangadhar Tilak. And he also participated in non-violence movement, and he was imprisoned. He was actually suffered from leprosy when he was in prison, and he was not, leprosy is, it's very serious disease in those days, and he was suffering, and he was the first political prisoner in Madras, and he suffered there and he died there in jail itself. These are brothers, Marthu Pandya brothers. Periya Marthu means elder brother, right, sir? Elder brother. And Chinna Marthu means younger brother. Younger brother. Periya, in Tamil, Periya means elder. And Periya and Chinna Marthu brothers, they ruled Sivagangai, and it was well before 1857 mutiny. And they fought very well. And then finally, I think they were killed in the battle at the end. Two times they won, and finally they lost in the battle, and they died. And Pulitheva, I know for so far, out of these 10 names, how many names we know so far? Before this? Not many. Even people from Tamil Nadu, they may not be aware of the contributions of these people. And Pulitheva, he was the first ruler from India who defeated Britishers. He did not lose the battle. He won and threw them out. And the first ruler in history, and he was the one to expel the foreigners from the land, that one. He did not lose till the end. There is one we know about Gandhi, right? And there is one Gandhi of South, the person known as Gandhi of South, his name is Karnad Sadasiva Rao. And when Gandhi launched Satyagraha, he was in the forefront to assist him from South. He pulled all the people from the South and then helped him. And actually his house has, whenever people meet in his house, see Chittaranjan Das, Sadhujan Naidu, see Rajagopalachari, Mahatma Gandhi, all used to stay in his house, and he lost his entire family. He lost his younger daughter, the only son, and his only. Then he went to Gandhi to take recourse, for solace, and Gandhi helped him, and then he went into help him in Salt Satyagraha, that is Quit India movement, and Salt Satyagraha, the Dandi March. Salt Satyagraha means, the people didn't want to pay tax on salt. And Gandhi wants to call the people to the place called Dandi and started manufacturing salt from the ocean. Karnad Sadasiva Rao is known as Gandhi of South. Then there is one more, he is a doctor, Hardikar. Dr. Hardikar, he had his education from University of, I think, Michigan University. He did his MSc degree from there, and then he went back to India and then contributed to this freedom struggle. He was sentenced to 1 year rigorous imprisonment. T. Subramanian. And he is the one who fights rather than discusses. This is a famous label about him. And he started a weekly called Karnataka Kesari. Karnataka, he's from Karnataka basically. And civil disobedience movement, he participated in that. And he was arrested so many times, and he was arrested in jail for 1 year and with a fine of $200. In those days, $200 is a big amount. Narayan Raj Purohit, he is the one who is totally gone unrecognized in spite of his significant contribution to the history, and especially from Karnataka region. And he was basically from the area of teaching, and because he was into this freedom movement, he was disqualified and he was thrown out of the teaching. And he wrote several books, several articles in history, archaeology and cultural relations, and none of his works were remembered, and he was totally gone, unrecognized. Ashfaqullah Khan, he is the one actually the first Muslim in the Indian history, in this Indian freedom movement, who was hanged in the conspiracy against British rule. He was very young, just about 26, 27 years of age, very young, and he died along with 2 other people who was being hanged. And in recent, I think most of the people are aware of her contributions to the freedom fight, and she is from the British, and then she joined India. She supported Gandhi and his followers in the freedom movement, and his campaign for Indian independence even when she was in Britain, and she came back. She had some family problems and lost his children in favor. Her husband, divorced and then took the children away from her. She joined Indian freedom movement. K. Kamraj, Kumaraswamy Kamraj, he was a great politician. He is a kingmaker in Indian politics. He was Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu for about 8-9 years, right? If I recall it correctly? Okay, thank you very much. And he was known for his simplicity and integrity. He was the one who was influenced by Jallianwala Bagh massacre. And he spent so many years in life. I think how many? 3,000 days of his life he spent in jail. 3,000 days, almost 9 years, around 8-9 years of life he spent in jail. Ram Manohar Lohia. There is one hospital in New Delhi, if you are aware, called Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital. And he is another great contributor to the, he is a top class scholar, he is a doctor actually, and civilized gentleman. And Gandhi once commented about him, I cannot sit quiet as long as Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia is in prison. I do not yet know a person braver and simpler than him. He never propagated violence. Whatever he has done has increased his esteem and his honor. He was tortured and interrogated, and he was arrested. And later on, Gandhi, under the influence of Gandhi, was arrested later. Most people from Andhra Pradesh, how many of you are aware of Alluri Sitaram Raju? Yeah. He was a great person from which Andhra Pradesh has produced, and I think mostly from North India. Not many people are aware of him and his contributions. He was he created a Rampa rebellion. He just lived only for 26-27 years. Great archery skills he has got. He is called hero of jungles, and what he used to do, he used to go to steal weapons from the police stations, and they used those weapons against them. And then he was caught, after some time, and then he was being tied up to the tree and then being killed by Rutherford. Right? Yeah. Potti Sriramulu. How many of you are aware of Potti Sriramulu? What he did? Yeah, he is the one who was instrumental in the formation of a separate state from actually Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh were joined together. And he went on hunger strike for 51 days. And he wanted to create a separate state for Telugu speaking population. And within 3 days, he died after the hunger strike. After 51 days, when he died, Nehru did not have any alternative than to give separate state to Andhra Pradesh. And you know, one interesting, the Amarjeevi means he is immortal. One interesting thing what Gandhi told about him is, Gandhi once said, if only I have 11 more followers like Sri Ramlu, I will win freedom from British rule in a year. It's a very bold statement. 11 people, he just needed 11 such people, he did not find them, it took so many years. Right? And he is a great contributor to our Indian freedom struggle. And actually I wanted to show you briefly the list of, where is it? List of freedom fighters, list open that. Yeah. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one you can close. Actually, the other day I was going through, I compiled a list of freedom fighters who perished in struggle between 1883 to 43. I don't want to go through all. See, the protest and then he died. Senapati Tikendrajit Singh revolted against British and was executed on August 31st. They are all executed, died, executed. Most of these people are executed. The list is very long. You can see Bose, and then Dutt, Balakrishna, and Satyendra Bose, Charu Charan Bose from Bengal, and executed. Madan Lal Dhingra, he was executed on August 17, 1909. The list is very long. So many people contributed. And today, I want to pay homage to all these people who sacrificed their lives. And the list is very long. I think I compiled a list of about 100 and a very long list, 121 people. So far. Totally, they were captured and executed. And where is my other? This one, I have to come back again. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry about it. So, I think the last year also I showed this one that who started in English medium in India. It's one Lord Macaulay. If you, I just want to recall the speech once again. What he said is, I have travelled across the length and breadth of India and I have not seen one person who is a beggar, who is a thief. Such wealth I have seen in this country. Such high moral values. People of such caliber that I do not think we would ever conquer this country unless we break the very backbone of this nation, which is her spiritual and cultural heritage. And therefore, I propose that we replace our old ancient education system, our culture, for if the Indians think that all that is foreign and English is good and greater than their own, they will lose their self-esteem, their native culture, and they will become what we want them, a truly dominated nation. And as a counter to this, I just wanted to show you 2 minutes. Does it come? Yeah. So why I showed this video is that, you know, this his idea is to break India by bringing English as a medium of instruction in the schools. And what happened after 200 years now is it was in 1835 he did that, and then now you can see in London, in England, they are chanting Veda mantras. So the culture, Indian culture, is impregnable and it's difficult to penetrate. It can go beyond the boundaries and so on. And he was under wrong impression that to break the culture, we can introduce English, whereas that became an incentive for Indians to go abroad and then settle as we are settled here, isn't it so? And at the same time, Indian wisdom and culture like Veda mantras, they are being transmitted to other nations also. And I think there's researchers are doing, you know, in England and other areas that if the people who can speak and can pronounce Sanskrit, and it has some impact on the brain that, you know, you can understand, you can analyze things very easily. This is what research is going on. For example, one of research in physics is being done in London on Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsa Vitarvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. He was doing research on the vibrations this mantra is producing and effect of these vibrations on the health of the body. There was a thesis on this. So this is what I just wanted to show you that, you know, in this small. And then finally, I would like to say, conclude my presentation with saying one thing. Jai Hind. Everybody, Jai Hind. Jai Hind. And thank you very much. I would like to request Dr. T.K. Roy to speak a few words, and then followed by Partha Sarathi. Please, I welcome you also after T.K. Roy. And he's going to tell some interesting things. Please, sir, please, 2 minutes.
Namaste, and I'm very glad that we have such a big crowd here for the Independence Day celebration of India. And I thank Satya for organizing this program. Also, his presentation, that was really marvelous, particularly the ones that he had created. Such a vast list of the people who are ignored. In fact, the independence of India is not a simple struggle that most of us know about. You know, definitely the non-violent resistance led by Mahatma Gandhi was definitely played a big role in the independence of India. But there had been enormous amount of sacrifice on the parts of many, and for many, many years, you know, probably around 200 years of struggle, you know, here and there, a lot of. One of the important things that I found that Satya has presented is the name of Swami Vivekananda. Now, many of you know Swami Vivekananda. He was a monk. He came to United States in 1893, and his famous speech of 11th September 1893 in the Parliament of Religions, that was really something. The whole crowd of 7,000 people rose after listening to him. And with that, the India's philosophy of Vedanta became popular. So all the yoga and meditation and all that you hear, he was the one who brought actually to the forefront. But he was also responsible. He was a monk. Monk, particularly what they do, their education is spiritual development. You know, you are trying to find yourself, the meaning of your life. that means God realization or self-realization. That's basically what it is. So it's a religious organization in which he was there. But also he knew that the freedom for which we are looking for, mukti, that he taught, that means we want to find out eventually mukti or freedom from the sufferings of this worldly life, which Buddha also preached. He said that the fight or the struggle for that freedom of the spirit does not happen where a race is ruled by a foreign power. And that was something that British did not like him, even though he was a monk and his area was different, but they followed him very, very behind him all the time, spies and all those things. And any time he would slip one line or something, he would be arrested. But he was very smart, very clever, and spiritually developed. So they could never find him any reason to put him in jail. On the other hand, there were other people like Aurobindo Ghosh, they were also spiritually elevated people, but they were in the beginning freedom fighting, and they were all inspired by the writings and speeches of Swami Vivekananda. So if you really say that who was behind the independence struggle, it was Swami Vivekananda. And you read the history of India and the biography of many of the great people, like including Mahatma Gandhi, they were greatly inspired by his writing and his speeches, love for India. So that is a very important thing that you mentioned. I saw that was the first name. These other names in which, of course, Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru and others, all they are there. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was another name. And you might have heard that there is a proposal, or in the internet you see Bharat Ratna, which is to honor one of the Indians in the past who have contributed quite a lot. Bharat Ratna is to Gem of India. It's a great honor to be given by the President of India to some citizen of India. His name is being proposed to be given that. However, Subhash Chandra Bose was in such a category that it would be probably an insult to give him, because he was really some kind of a patriotic genius that you cannot put him in the category of other people who had received some Nobel Prize or something. Just like the Nobel Prize for Peace. Think about Mahatma Gandhi. Did he get a Nobel Prize? No. And who are the other people? I mean, yeah, there are other people who have learned from his ways and they have been all awarded, but Mahatma Gandhi did not get it. In fact, Mahatma Gandhi, it is better. I was talking to my father one day about this thing that, look, Mahatma Gandhi, out of all people, did not get Nobel Prize. He said, no, it is better that he was not given, because he would be put in the category of other people who are much lower than him. In fact, Mahatma Gandhi would have honored the Nobel Prize to be there. So it is better that they are above those people. So Subhash Chandra Bose was definitely a different category, and he was inspired by Swami Vivekananda. Mount Attlee was the Prime Minister of England when India got independence, 1945 to 51. That was the time Labour Party Prime Minister. And Churchill had just retired from politics because of the Second World War. England was devastated. Somehow they managed to win, but England was really in trouble. Very bad shape with bombing and everything. The economy was really bad. Mount Attlee was the Prime Minister at that time. And he decided to give independence to India, 1947. About 1946, this decision was being taken. So Churchill asked him, why are you giving independence to India? I mean, it is our prized possession of which we have become so wealthy and powerful. He said, the reason is that Indians do not depend or its bread anymore on Britain. So they are independent, they are getting slowly. But the second most important point he said, very important, is that we cannot rely on the Indian army and naval force. Without that, we cannot rule India. Because the British was 20,000 Britishers cannot come and rule India. Because they needed the help of the British Indian Army and also the Royal Indian Navy. And both these forces were showing signs of revolution. And why it was so? This Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, he had created an Azad national force outside India. And his group came to India and attacked that thing. But again, they had to retreat. Many thousands of soldiers at that time, they died. So if you list the names of those people who struggled, it will run into thousands. Many of them died. They were retired army officers, retired engineers, and all those things who had migrated outside India, and they came under the leadership of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. They were fighting for the freedom of India. There was a news about the death of this gentleman. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose died in an accident. But the Britishers never believed this man because he was such a charismatic, powerful leader that outside India he had created an army, unbelievable strength. They had acquired strength from Japan, from Germany, and he had created that kind of power to fight against the British army. And British, because they were at that time very weak, they thought that this guy is again coming and attacking us, and we are already weak. So he didn't want Britain to be humiliated by an army of Indian soldiers. So at that time he said, this was another thing, we cannot trust the Indian army because any lecture by this man who is outside, he had his own he has his own radio. He talked from Singapore or somewhere in Burma. So the Britishers were afraid that they might have to be humiliated. So it is better leave India with honor. That's what they did. So even though non-violent resistance was a big powerful force, this was a big factor. And this is told by the guy who just gave the freedom to India. Well, thank you. And he is the one who coined Jai Hind.
Excellent, sir. Wonderful speech. This is a wonderful speech, sir. Somebody asked me that. I just only 2 minutes. I would like to request Mr. Partha to come here and explain. You know, we know Mahatma Gandhi is wearing a simple dress. Before that, he was used to wear, a full suit and all that, right? Like Britishers and all that. He got educated in London, and he will just explain in 1 minute or 2 minutes briefly what transformed Gandhi to go to that dress. Please, sir, I will come. Partha to say a few words.
Thank you, Professor Satya, and the chief guest, and everybody here. Today I am here to talk about a very important incident that happened in Gandhiji's life. I don't know how many of you know that when he changed his clothing to dhoti. On September 22nd of 1921, Gandhiji visited his friend in Madurai, Tamil Nadu state. He was on a hand rickshaw from the railway station. The person who was carrying him he was wearing a dhoti and nothing on top. So and then on the way he saw a lot of people working in the farm, and they were also wearing dhoti and very simple dress. And then Gandhiji realized the poverty of India and the sufferings under British rule. Next day, Gandhiji changed his dress code to dhoti. Later he went to Gujarat and started the vigorous movement of national independence movement. Thank you, and I have to thank Professor Satya giving me an opportunity to share this important and very important thing that happened in Gandhiji's life. Thank you very much. I also have to thank him for bringing in all the important people that we have forgotten, all unsung heroes. I am very glad about that. Thank you very much, Professor Satya.
We'll try to bring some more information about the freedom fighters in next year and years to come. It's a long process, and I would like to now. The time for lunch. Lunch is ready now, and I would request, first let's take the chief guest and the dignitaries to have the food first, and then let the students take. Then let us take the chief guest, and then thank you very much for coming to this event and make it and see that we remember those people who sacrificed to the country and then pay homage to them. And thanks once again for our chief guest who graced our occasion to come here and then bless us in this event. And thanks to Tina Blumen, who is the interest student, who is our dear officer here. And thanks for all the people who came here to support this event. And thank you very much on behalf of both Center for Indic Studies and Indian Student Association. Thank you, and let's enjoy life.
Finally, I would like to thank each and everyone who is present here, living their valuable time. And finally, I would like to introduce some more ISM members who are not on the picture, but they are here to help us in each and every moment. I would like to warmly welcome our Sharon, Ruben, and Ashwin here on the dais to introduce themselves. I would like to call all ISM members to come on the dais. These are the ISM members. We are here to help you and all. So any problems you can tell us, new students, whatever it is. So we are here to help us. And we also request your help, whatever it is. And finally, I thank each and everyone. And first, the chief guests have their lunch, and afterwards, our Americans and the Indians can have their food. Thank you, students.
వచ్చాక సార్ ప్రెజెంటేషన్ కూడా వచ్చాక select some last the chief. How was the food and all? How was the food?
Excellent. Delicious.
Don't say was. You still go because we might go.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. You can have it. Yeah. Oh, please go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Good, how are you?
Sir, you should go first.
No, it's fine. We're good. Thank you, though.
ఏంటికి వచ్చారు మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళు కూడా ఎప్పుడు వచ్చారు 11:15 వచ్చారా అని బ్యాక్ ముందు కూర్చోవచ్చు కదా అందరూ వెనకాల కూర్చున్నారు ముందు అంతా ఖాళీగా ఉంది ఇక్కడ కూర్చున్నారేంటమ్మా?
Pop off my rice. Place on it, sir.
ఏంటి గోపి గారా? ఏంటి సార్ ఇక్కడ కూర్చున్నారేంట? Did you have?
You already got.
ఓకే. నాన్న తీసుకోండి. లైన్లో ఉన్నా నీ గురించి మా అమ్మ ఎదుగుతుంది. ఎలా ఉంది? బాగుందా? How is the food? Okay?
It's amazing. Delicious. Thank you so much. Happy Independence Day.
Oh, thank you. What happened? You throwing?
No, I'm waiting.